back on the bunny slope. "Excuse us!" I set my jaw and managed to keep the eye roll internal as I stepped aside to allow a couple with a stroller to go by. For God's sake. I returned the wave the toddler gave as they passed, even though I was seething inside. I scuffed my shoes in the dirt, considering my options. This day had been going so well, and now frustration sat coiled in my chest, set to open up, expand, and swallow the whole day. Just settle down. I released a slow breath and shook out my hands. I could run the loop again, knowing that there was at least one stroller out there to dodge. Unless... I tracked back from the trailhead a bit to what was barely enough room to pass through the bushes lining the path. An opening onto a deer trail. Sometimes, I stood on the balls of my feet and peered over and through the brush, and sure enough, the trail seemed to open up a little. Enough for me to run, anyway. Definitely not enough for a stroller. It was barely enough to wriggle through, yet as I continued to look, the bushes seemed to open. They were pulling back on either side, ready to accommodate me, ready to welcome me if I'd like to enter. If I wanted to take just a few steps in, surely I could find my way. I wasn't supposed to leave the main trail any more than I was to run on the highway alone, but the difference was that no one would see me here, a thought that drifted through my mind, which had suddenly gone honey-soft and warm. It was quiet under the canopy of trees, just my footsteps, the twittering of unseen birds. Even the buzzing stalker was gone. The light cast a soft rose-gold glow over every leaf on every tree, the filter that colored my best memories. It was hot, but the wind had picked up, making the heat enjoyable rather than hellish. This was already better than the main loop. The sun beat down and I closed my eyes for a moment, letting my head drop back, soaking up the heat warming my muscles, the sound of insects buzzing, and the delicious knowledge that school was almost behind me and summer stretched out as far as I could see. No pressure, no stress, just me and the forest trails. The little voice in my head was soft and soothing. "The tree canopy is so pretty." It was. Quiet and dark and soft, perfect for a run. Just a little one. Noise from the trail made me look back. Back? How had I gotten here? I turned in a slow circle, feeling fuzzy like I'd just woken. I hadn't stepped through the bushes. I'd never left the main trail. Yet, I looked back through the brush and saw the colorful flash of 3 cyclists heading along the trail to the main loop. I should definitely go back. I got only 2 steps back when I felt it. A tickle in my brain. Not a thought, but an actual itch. A scratch from the inside. And even though I knew I shouldn't, I turned my back to the main trail. Keep going. I did. 3 steps into the brush, and the dark, waxy leaves leisurely brushing against my legs made me pause to consider ticks. Spiders. Things that bite. But bravery, faith in modern medicine, and my body begging to run sent me gingerly hop-shimmying through the bushes with their deep red berries until I saw it. The trail showed itself, clear and welcoming after 30 feet. No stroller or cyclists here. Perfect. It was the best feeling, to need to pay so much attention to the footing that my head emptied and went quiet. There was no school, no job, no parents, no worries. My eyes tracked the ground coming up in front, relayed the information to my body, and together, we just went. Mindless bliss. My first run had been for cancer research when I was 7, and that was all it took. Ever since then, I ran. For fun, in races, on teams. It had been, and still was, the closest thing I could imagine to flying. The buzz of my watch startled me out of my zen. A little satellite-shaped thingy with an X through it blinked up at me. Signal lost. I slowed to a walk, checked my heart rate, and looked around to find